Hey guys, PropShop73. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I'm just gonna talk about what I call the pre-lunch short setup. Pretty active in the morning before the open, and not as active after the open because I'm busy trading. But anyway, this is like I said, a pre-lunch short setup where you'll get this topping patterns around 10:50 to 11:15 in the morning. You can see the stock will rally all morning, and then you'll start seeing traders get out before lunch. And more than anything is what I call I would say it's lack of buyers. Market makers will tend to just drift it down, and the only way to make money for them will be shorting because there's no buyers. And usually they're the ones in control of most of the action. So with ORMP, I went ahead and shorted at 725 near the high was 732. So I shorted with 732 risk. It was 7 cent risk, so it was pretty nice. And it was what 11. Yeah, that was at 11:05, 11:02, I think, something like that was the time I shorted. It quickly faded after that. I covered half at 692, and you can see it bounced off the VWAP. Usually that happens, so it grinded back up. I was a little bit cautious here. I was ready to cover if it would have, if it would have busted the high day. But it just came back down, and at this point I was thinking about covering at the VWAP, a little bit below VWAP, because usually what happens is once it hits the VWAP, it'll move very violently to the downside or the upside if it was hitting the VWAP on an uptrend. And also this was the prior low, so I knew there was support around here, so I was thinking, okay, I might cover at 680, 82 or so. And I saw that it was very weak, so I lowered my cover to 672, and it never hit. And I got a little bit anxious and saw this candle here. This candle, it's sort of it's actually a bottoming candle. You can see that's a hammer. So I went ahead and covered at 678. It just kept fading, but whatever. That was a good trade there. Another example of that pre-market, the pre-launch short setup would be. Let me look for DSKX. Okay, you can see here. Let's look back over here, right? Okay, so you got a morning rally, same thing. You can see that at 10:45, that was the topping pattern there. It was a little bit earlier than I would have expected. Usually it's around 11 or so, but anyways, once you see that over here, you see 10:55, you see that it went back up. Well, that's when you want to short. You don't want to be trying to catch the high. You want to let it develop the high, and then you trade backside, right? So now you have a setup risk. So here the high would be 261 or so. You short when it comes back up. You always short on the ask, because it's better reward, better risk reward. You never short the grind down, and try not to hit the bid to short. Try and short when it pops back up. If you don't get it, just pass. There's always another stock. So over here, if you short around 250, let's say 255 or so, look what happened. You know, traders just leaving to for lunch. No buyers at all. Market makers just drifted down. This one's, you know, from 255 to 237 or so. So now that's what, I mean, 18 cents or so in 20 minutes, maybe. No, maybe a little bit more, maybe half an hour. So that's your trade there. And remember, these are just day trades. Just don't linger around and wait for, like, you know, don't get greedy. Just take your money half an hour later, 1 hour later, when it breaks down the VWAP. And that's, you know, that's the setup there. And the last one is SGNL. Another example is the last one I'm going to show you. Right, so here, again, this was a lot later, 12 or so. This one's not as good as an example. Let me see this one here. Well, anyways, let's see. This one was later. This one hit the top at 11:50. This was almost an hour later. This is not as good as an example, but again, if you were to short this, so don't try and pick the top. Always have risk on the top and do backside. So again, you can see this candle here is a topping pattern too, is a doji. So you can see there's indecision there on this 5-minute candle. Well, once you see that candle and you see the stock has come all the way up, you can always short, like I said, on the ask at around 242 to 244 on the way up. Don't hit the bid. Try not hit the bid, and because then you'll lose you'll lose a reward there. And then again, you know, it just drifted down after 11 to 12 or so. There's no buyers anymore, so you get this downtrend. And again, VWAP, violent move through the VWAP. That's what you want. You always want to put your cover few cents below VWAP, because it'll always bounce. And you know, now VWAP, it's resistance. You can see once it violated the VWAP to the downside, it'll become resistance. And you know, have patience. Don't just be patient and wait for the stock to break the VWAP. And watch for the VWAP to keep, you know, being the resistance. And use a prior high as your new stop, right? Because once you short it around here and it just broke down, it'll come back up. This is a higher low, a lower high. So now if it breaks down again, your new stop should be around, you know, obviously should be the most prior high, right? So you're in a comfort zone now. As long as it doesn't break 240, you're good to go. You just let it drift down, and you know, you gotta have patience, of course. But usually this is what happens on these small caps. When the volume is gone, you know, there's no buyers anymore, and they just drift down, and you easily get 240 to 225, my friend. I mean, nice 15 cents there. So that's it. This is the pre-lunch short setup I wanted to show you. Remember, always use a stop, and if it breaks that hide, don't even think about it, press that button and cover. Alright guys, that's it. You have a great 4th of July. Have fun and be safe. Take care, my friends. Prop Shop signing out.